Today I will show you how I built an AI paralegal assistant that can analyze legal documents, write summaries, generate research notes in all under a minute. Now, it takes most law firms and lawyers hundreds of hours a month to do research, find precedent, write case summaries, and this tool takes care of that instantly. Now, it took me a couple of hours to put this together. My goal with this video is to show you how to do this in less than 12 minutes. Now, before we jump into the build, let me show you how this works.
Let's see if the tool works. So we're going to give it a quick demo. If we click on that, which precedent support the defense that intent must be proven in a fraud allegation. As you can see on the side, it stores chat history while it's generating that. Okay, so it popped up the response. We can see this is working. It gave us an entire breakdown for everything that we need, and it stores the chat on the left hand side. We can head down to case law and add in a topic just for the example of this video. The jurisdiction, we can put it USA. Search. Okay, and it gave us everything that we need. Gave us the case, the facts, the decision, the ratio. If we scroll right down, we can see that it cited research for authenticity. So we can go ahead and check if this information is correct. Let's check case brief. Okay, so the case brief, if we upload a document, it's going to give us the FIR AC summary. So let's upload an example of this. Judgment and generate. Okay, generated the brief for us and gave us the facts, the issue, the rule, analysis, and conclusion. So we can see that every layer of the tool here works, and we want to ensure that we're always tweaking and we're optimizing according to what the business needs or what your client needs. So it's never a finished product, and you can always work that in and ensure that you're always improving the product. Okay, so that's the demo. Now let me show you how we can go ahead and build this out. I'm now going to walk you through the structure of how I thought about the build, so you have an idea of the logic behind the build. So if you're looking to build this for yourself or you're looking to build it for a client, you know exactly the logic behind it and you're not stuck with just a copy and paste method. Now, how I'd like to always think about it is a problem, a workflow process, and then solutions that we want to derive from that process. So the problem here that we're trying to fix is that lawyers spend hours doing repetitive legal research, case summarization, and precedent findings. What we want to do is condense that, help them with it, and make it more efficient. So they have documents that they want to have case summaries on. They want to extract facts, identify issues, as well as find precedents and generate a FIR AC summary. That's just a general rule of getting specific facts, issues, and resources from a case. And the solution with that is we want a chat assistant that can help them with just a day-to-day issues, cases, summaries. We want them to be able to do case research on the tool, find evidence summaries, as well as generate case briefs and find legal strategy that they can eventually go ahead and tweak. So that's the solutions that we're looking for from this problem, and the workflow process are these that we've stated within this box. Now it's very simple. We can obviously unpack this and get more detailed on it. However, for the sake of this video, to give you a general idea, this is a good workflow to follow. Now, I'm going to jump into the prompt, and then after I jump into the prompt, I'm going to give you the logic behind it so you understand it much better. So let's jump into the prompt section. Okay. Now, the initial prompt that I used was this prompt that I want to build an AI paralegal assistant inside Google AI Studio, and the app must help lawyers conduct case research, summarize case law, create case briefs, extract arguments from the judgment, and develop legal strategy. And then it goes on to break down the layout of every single one. Now, it's not going to give you the exact look that you want from the get-go, so you can iterate it, improve the icons, the information, the layout, the function of it. So I've also added the failures that I've went through, which we've noticed a lot of outputs that became inconsistent, that wasn't giving us the exact output that we wanted. So we had to use iteration prompts. And we also noticed that features sometimes when you try to prompt all features at once, it gets mixed up and cluttered together, and it does its own thing. So you do not want to prompt every single feature in one prompt. It can get quite messy, and we do not want to give legal advice. That's for the professional in this tool. So if you're doing anything that conflicts with law, you want to make sure that it's just helping them and not conflicting with law. And another point that we picked up was missing citations. Now, it's important to note that you're going to receive these failures no matter which tool you're building, and if you're building this for yourself. I've also went ahead and added iteration prompts to make sure that you're fixing inconsistencies, adding missing pieces, performance enhancements, tone and clarity. Now, after all of that, I got this final UI prompt, which is going to give us the exact layout that we're looking for. And then we went ahead and structured a function prompt, which goes ahead and makes sure that everything is working. First, what we're going to do is head over to AI Studio and paste this prompt in to see if this works. Let's minimize the screen and create a new window. Okay. Bold. It's going to pause it here, let it do its thing, and come back. There we go. So we generated this for us. It's not exactly like the tool I built, but it gives you the overall structure. It doesn't have to be exactly like the one, the format that looks like mine. If you want it exactly like mine, what you can do is you screenshot the example of a tool and you paste it in, and it'll give you the exact layout of that tool. However, if you want something similar with similar functions, then this is perfectly fine. It allows you to add a new chat, upload workspace, case laws, okay, and case briefs, as well as gives you an archive and settings, and added its own name here at the bottom, which you can go ahead and tweak later. Now, this is just the UI, so none of this is working. So we have to head over back to the function and ensure that we paste in the function prompts, which are all of these. So I'm gonna paste this in, and once that's done, we're gonna test out to see if it works. Let's copy this. So we've given the tool the functional prompts, and it went ahead and structured everything out for us. If we look at case law, it's given us the jurisdiction as well as the research topic or case name. Let's test this out. We can select different countries and we'll type the example out. Software licensing. Okay, there we go. Went ahead and generated that for us based off our prompt. Remember, we never give it the legal structures as yet. This is just me showing you how to build out the tool. And I've added all the legal structures in this prompt document that you can go ahead and ensure to reference. And if you're a lawyer building it out for yourself, a quick tool, you can go ahead and reference exactly what you know. And if you're building out for clients, you can reference the document and always also have be in contact with them and let them let you know what exactly you need to add to the tool, because that's important when it comes to tools that are legal. But if it's any other tool, then it's a lot more easier. So we can check out case brief. Let's see if this works. Generate brief. Okay, perfect. You can see it's generating everything that it needs to. Head over to legal strategy. You can see you have the section here to paste in the case summary as well as upload a PDF. Let's generate strategy. We added an example of a case summary. Let's see if this works. Okay, that's brilliant. Remember, this can always be tweaked and catered exactly to your needs or to your client's needs. And if we hit back to new chat, we see that it has all the prompt options. If we click on, can it upload documents? There we go. Let's try another one. And it stores it for us. So I've just showed you in just under, I think, 8 minutes on how to prompt an entire tool that can save a lawyer time, give them better ideas and strategy, as well as just improve the entire experience with operations and customer experience as well. Now, it wasn't so simple to go ahead and just build this out so quick. It was a bit of trial and error before I understood exactly the logic behind building out these tools. Now, the layout is slightly different. If you want a very specific layout, you can, and you've seen an example on another tool, you can always screen grab that tool and paste that here. So if we upload that, let's look for an example. I think I have them here. I think it's this one. I'm gonna tell it to design the UI to look like a screenshot. So it's gonna do its magic and design it exactly to the screenshot that I've uploaded to give it a very specific look. Okay, so it worked. It tweaked it exactly to how my previous tool was that I showed you, and it set that up exactly the same with some minor differences which you can go ahead and tweak it on. Now, before I end this video showing you how the build was done based off the prompts, it's not just about the prompts, it's about the logic behind it. And if you understand the logic, you'd be able to build any tool with that logic. And the logic is basically the same across most builds. And that's, you want to build your UI first when it comes to coding on these platforms. Whether it's Google AI Studio, Bolt, or Replit, you want to make sure that you're building the UI first, which is define the screens, the buttons, the inputs, and the outputs. So define exactly how you want it to look and function as it moves throughout the user experience. Once you have that, you have a map, you have a visual map. And then you want to add a function behind each UI section. So you want to define how the AI thinks in that module, in that mode. So behind that button, behind that section, that box, how does it think and how does it function? That's what you want to add as the second layer. You then want to structure those prompts with what's its purpose, what's the input from the user, how should it process it, what tools should it use to process, and how should the output look, and what are the guardrails, basically the constraints. So what should it not move out of? And then the fourth step, you want to set a sort of an iterative process. So you want to improve by asking the model to refine each layer. And you do not want to do this all at once. You want to tackle it each window at a time: the new chat, the workspace files, the case law, party research, case briefs, legal strategy. You want to go through each layer and sort each one out by the UI design, by each box, by each button, not all at once. And then you want to expand the tool using the same pattern. You follow it like a loop, you add UI, you add function, and then done. Now that's just a simplified version. What I've done for you was added the build logic right over here, and you can access all of this in the resource guide in the description below for completely free, and that's going to help you build this tool, get a feel of it, and also customize according to your needs or your client's needs.
Now that's just one example of how an AI system can be plugged into a business and improve the overall operation experience as well as customer experience. Now, if you're a lawyer or a law firm and you'd like this implemented for you, I've left a link in the description and you can go ahead and get in contact with us there. If you're someone who wants to implement this for your clients, I've left all the prompt structures as well as the prompt guide, the detailed guide that built this out exactly in the resource guide, and the link in the description as well, so you can check that out there. Now, if you found this helpful in any way, please do subscribe, This helps us put out more videos like this. If you have any suggestions or requests, you can let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.